What's up guys? Blur here and welcome back to BGN. In today's video, we're going to talk about the 5 things you should be considering when choosing your gaming platform in 2020. We're going to be making some comparisons between console and PC, and we're also going to be taking a look at what the future of gaming looks like. So, if you're ready, so am I. Let's get into it. So let's start off by talking price. Let's get this out of the way at first. You are not going to find a gaming PC that will perform at the same level as your current gen consoles for the same $300. It's not gonna happen.
It's never gonna happen.
So if you only have $300 to spend and you really want a game, a PS4 or an Xbox One are gonna be your best bet. One thing to keep in mind is that you'll actually probably end up spending somewhere near comparable to a really good $1,000 gaming PC throughout the lifespan of your console gaming experience. Let me talk to you about why. First and foremost, PC games tend to be cheaper. There's a lot of key discount sites that you can go to. Steam is constantly running sales a bit faster than what you would find on consoles. Epic is giving out free games to literally anybody with a pulse. Also, not to mention other sites like Humble Bundle or things like that. Games tend to be cheaper on PC than they do on console. Another thing to consider is the fact that on PC you do not need a subscription to play online. Whereas if you're going to be playing a lot of online games and you want to have that experience, you're going to have to pay at least $60 a year for you to get that same experience that you would get on PC. So after a couple of years, you start seeing that this amount actually starts to add up, and console gaming might not actually be as cheap as you initially thought. The next point to consider are games. Although it is completely true that the consoles have games that you will not find on PC, there's a couple of asterisks on that. So first of all, if you are considering an Xbox One or any Microsoft platform, all new Microsoft games are coming out day and date on PC, and is actually also available as part of their Game Pass on both PC and on Xbox. We'll talk a little bit more about gaming subscriptions a little bit later. It's a slightly different story when it comes to Nintendo and PlayStation. If you want to play Nintendo games, buy a Nintendo. That's it. Literally, stop watching this if what you're into is Pokemon and Animal Crossing. We're actually done talking here. Buy a Nintendo Switch and enjoy that. It's a great piece of hardware. Now, when we're talking about Sony, on the other hand, and we're talking about the PlayStation, although it is historically true that most of the Sony first parties don't come over to PC, there's a bit of an asterisk around that. PC has the ability to utilize PS Now. PS Now is PlayStation's streaming platform, and that actually allows you to play some games that you were not able to play on PC streaming from the cloud. Not to mention, some of Sony's first party and second party exclusives have made their way over to PC. We're talking Heavy Rain, and it's been announced that Horizon Zero Dawn is coming to PC as well. So we can see a future where most PlayStation first party games, maybe after a little bit of time, actually make their way onto PC. Alright, speaking about subscription services, there are 4 major subscription services when it comes to gaming. So you have Uplay Plus, which is currently PC only. This is Ubisoft's flagship streaming service. You have EA Origins or EA All Access. They're both comparable. You'll find that on both console and PC. You'll find Xbox Game Pass, which you'll find on Xbox and PC. And then you'll find PS Now. PS Now is on both the PlayStation and PC. So if you notice something, all 4 of the streaming services are available on PC today. The next thing to consider under games is the games library. Now, When it comes to the PlayStation and the Xbox, you're kind of limited to what was given to you during that console generation. Now, sure, I know that the new consoles are set up to be backwards compatible. There's still no real word on whether or not they'll be able to play games from far back in their library. Whereas one of the big key factors when it comes to PC gaming is the fact that your games library always goes with you. There isn't a piece of your hardware that's going to obsolete a game at the current moment, given any driver issues, of course. Alright, for the third point, we're going to talk about versatility versus the walled garden approach. Now, anybody who's into the phone wars, if you will, is actually really familiar with this concept, right? You have Apple on one end with their walled garden approach where they know what's best for you. And then you have the Android users who want to customize everything about their experience. Gaming is no different. If you go through the console way, you're actually going through the walled garden approach. Microsoft and Sony, and frankly Nintendo, get to curate what they think is best for you and they serve it up to you. If there's a feature that's missing, then it's missing until they give it to you. In PC gaming, you can choose whatever you want to choose. You don't want to chat utilizing Discord, then go to Skype or do whatever you want to do, right? You want to mod your games, you have full freedom. I made my Witcher 3 look next gen. Now, all of that customization comes at a cost. I find in my experience that PC games tend to be less reliable. They tend to be less stable. There are a lot of things running in the background of your computer that aren't necessarily taken into account when somebody's building and coding a game. So things like overlays or anything running in the background could really cause a major issue when it comes to the stability of your game. Another thing you might want to consider is what input methods you want to use. Are you going to be gaming with a gamepad or one of these? Now, although it's true that you can play games with keyboard and mouse on a console, there's few games that actually support that functionality. Whereas if you wanted to utilize a gamepad on a PC, you actually still could. Now, keep in mind, you might get rocked in some competitive FPS, but I mean, there's a trade-off there, right? Now, consideration point number 4. Now, this one's gonna be a little bit controversial, and it isn't typically, it just happens to be in the year that we're in. Power. PC games are almost always more powerful and look and run better than their counterparts in the console space. Now, that is going to change, however, when it comes to the newest consoles that'll be coming out later this year. Those consoles are actually going to be comparable to a more mid to high range, probably closer to the high range actually, PC of today. Now, what we'll see is that there'll be a release of a new graphics card. So right now, a lot of rumors are talking about the 3080 or 3080 Ti. And there's a lot of conversations that it'll be 50 times faster than the current generation. Also, a couple of things to consider when we're talking about power is that raw power isn't everything. If you saw Epic Games' Unreal Engine demo playing on the PS5, they were talking a lot about how the fast SSD that they were pulling off of the PlayStation 5 being absolutely crazy and allowing them to do things that they were not able to do previously with a lot less power. Not to mention the fact that when you have less SKUs to worry about, less types of hardware iterations, you can optimize the software for the specific platform. So games that run on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One X, those games actually look better than they probably have any right to. If we're talking about today, there's absolutely no competition. A decent PC rig will outperform any console on the market today. Another thing you want to consider is what exactly do you want to utilize this rig for? If it's just gaming, right? Assuming the other points on power, etc. aren't really something that really sway your decision, then go with a console. The console's great. Now, if you need something to edit video or a 3D model or do your homework, investing in a PC might be a good idea because it'll do all of those things plus play your games. It can also help justify the price of PC gaming, knowing that you're going to be utilizing this piece of hardware for more than just playing video games. So what do you guys think? Is it going to be PC Master Race or console walled garden? Leave your comments down below. Hey, if you like this content, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and then also make sure to hit that little bell icon so that you get notified for any new content that comes out. I stream on Twitch every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, so come hang out. And all of the rest of my social media links are linked down below. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for joining, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Thanks. Hurrah. I'm still working out a catchphrase, okay?